How we doing, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, yeah. You like that, Josh?
I do. It's beautiful singing voice right there. I didn't
I
know you had
appreciate
that in your back.
I appreciate that. Listen, we're back. It's another episode of Generational Sports, and we're here to break down everything. I mean, from life to the wonderful world of sports to whatever else comes up on the docket, Josh, because we kind of go off topic quite a few times.
Right.
But you know what I always say, Josh, right?
It's our show.
It's our show. We do what we want over here, you know? But how you doing there, pal?
I'm feeling a little under the weather, not gonna lie.
Sound a little stuffy there.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what it is. I do kind of have a little bit of an idea. Maybe you remember a while ago when I told you like there was flooding in our basement.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so they brought a jackhammer down there, a bunch of stuff tore through the concrete and all that. And now there's a really bad smell coming from the basement. I believe it's sewage, and it's not good. We've called some people to try to get them to come fix that. Still waiting on that. But the smell is, let's say, it's lingering throughout the household. So I don't believe that's good for your health either. So
I'm gonna have to go with no.
yeah, so been covering up the vents, spending a lot of time outside. Good thing the weather's nice now, but yeah, hoping to get that fixed soon. I think that could be a big reason I've not been feeling so well lately.
Yeah, I hate that. You hate that.
It is not exactly
That is
a good thing.
that's not that's not exactly what you want.
No, some would say,
I would
but
think.
other than that, bets have been hitting, so I
Okay.
can't complain about that.
How was the bet that I advised you on?
It was good. It was good. I mean, it was not a terrible bet because I mean it was Blue Jays over who were they playing?
Tigers, I think it was, or the Royals.
Royals. Yeah, that was a good bet. I hit that one. The only reason I took that one is because I had a big profit boost, so I was looking for a team that was like, heavily favored, and that one worked out. I can't remember. I think it's a pitcher for the Rockies that I also won money on. Had him over 3.5 strikeouts. Wound up with like 5 of them. Got that at plus money too, which was nice. So, MLB. I think the reason I'm hitting is because I don't know a bunch about it, so I don't overthink like the bets. Like I don't think like, but this guy could go off, but this guy.
This is true.
Off. So it's just kind of if I like it, I take it. It's been working so far.
I love that for you.
Yeah, it's been good. How have you been, Connie?
Not too bad. The Renegades are back up and running. Had my first game last week, and then I was only supposed to do one on Friday, and then I was there, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come in tomorrow? Somebody can't come." And I was like, "Hey, you don't got to tell me." I was like, "That's fine with me." So I had a nice game Saturday. Sunday I wasn't there, and then I believe Mondays they always have off because Monday is like a travel day in like the minors. I don't have a game tomorrow, but then I think I'm on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Renegades back in full swing. I got a beautiful 18 holes in today.
Hey.
Played some golf with my boy and struck the ball well.
Good.
I thought the improvement is there. I'm telling. Even he was like, "Oh, okay." So the improvement's getting there, Josh. It's getting.
Did we play some golf at the condo?
We played golf at the condo. I think I played 3 times. So, and actually, I finally played the course that our condo is on. So it's not. So our condo overlooks. I believe it is the first tee box, like the first hole. It's like the tee box is a little bit to the right, and then like the hole, whatever, blah blah. That is the 3rd time I've been down, and the first 2 times I've gone down to the condo, closed. The golf course is closed because they were like fixing it up or doing whatever. So I finally got to play the day before we left. I fixed the driver game up, because I have a mean slice. So I've been, moving the club head a little bit more closed instead of open. and it still slices a little bit, but it's a little like this, and now you know what I mean. So
Right.
it's much better, much better.
Good. Good.
So yeah, can't complain, can't complain. I mean, baseball's in full swing. I got something to watch every night.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a good time. It's been a good time. And yeah, speaking of good times, how about we get into it, huh? Because UFC 287 was this weekend, and the king is back. Not Conor McGregor, but Israel, the Last Stylebender, which is still my favorite nickname of all time.
Yeah,
Maybe because Avatar: The Last Airbender is my favorite cartoon of all time, but The Last Stylebender is just what a name. I mean, that's just incredible.
Yeah. Nicknames also, like, they can be like super cool, but when they don't match like the person it's with, like, it kind of messes it up. It fits Adesanya perfectly too, the way he acts and just everything about him.
He's still a little. I wish he wasn't so cringy though. He is a little cringy.
He's funny. He's goofy, bro.
He's goofy, but like, I'm gonna be real. He kind of lost me with the dog collar thing.
But think of like,
I know. I get the message.
Right.
I'm sorry. I can't do it.
I think for fighting, like, I don't think there's too many sayings that aren't going to be cringy.
No. But you know what my thing was? Maybe it wasn't even the dog collar. It was the way it looked. It looked like
it didn't fit.
If he had like one of those rubber ones with the spikes and everything, I would be like, you know what? Maybe. I probably still wouldn't have loved it, but I would maybe. But like it literally looked like you know what it looked like? Honestly, it looked like handcuffs that they use in Star Wars, or like any futuristic show, or like when in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
When like it looks like one of those. I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this here collar, but hey, who am I to judge? He could kill me if he felt like it. But yeah, he has reclaimed his title. He's reclaimed the throne as the middleweight?
Yep.
Middleweight champion. With a wonderful knockout of Alex. See, everybody says Pineda. I guess that's what it is, right? It's not Pereira. Everybody says Pineda, and it just doesn't make sense to me, but different languages. So who am I? Once again.
Yeah.
He knocked him out though. Knocked him out. I mean, I feel like what everybody always, and I don't know why this really stuck out in my head. Like the knockout is always cool, but the one thing I feel like people always like never pay attention to with a knockout, because they always see the body drop and like whatever. Bro, his head smacked the mat.
Yeah.
Like they probably get a concussion from the punch. There's no way they don't get another one from literally, shout out Conor McGregor, dribbling their heads off the canvas.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a concussion with the punch. There's brain damage when that head.
Like, I mean, you see, and I mean, his head is like, I was like, God, is he alive?
Yeah.
And then he shoots the arrows into him, and then
the celebration
dead to pretend like it was the because I guess Pereira's kid did that to him when he got knocked out. And listen, people, this is where I love Izzy though. Oh, imagine doing that to a kid, whatever. Josh, the amount of pettiness that I have in my body is unbelievable. I would have done the exact same thing. Nothing I love more than somebody who's being petty. I'm a petty king. So remembering that the kid, pretended to knock himself out all those years ago and doing it 5 years later after you just knocked his dad out. Oh, I love
Kids
it.
in tears already. Just crying.
Listen, I probably sound like the Grinch right now, but I loved it. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, I mean, the celebration was top tier. It doesn't get too much better than knocking someone out and then shooting a couple of arrows in them.
That's my favorite celebration. I don't know why, but of all like I did it today. I had a nice putt. I said like this.
That's how you hit a 3. Got to shoot the arrows too.
I'm saying
it's a fire celebration for sure. And then going after the kid was was amazing. But I mean, the knockout itself and how he described it at the post fight, like how he was just kind of playing possum, like that's dangerous to play possum against Pereira. Like that is not something I think most people should do. But he caught him with the right, and that was it. It was the whole card though in general. I really enjoyed it. I thought Chris Curtis and Kelvin Gastelum that end the prelims like really set the tone for
That was
what the
I'm
West was
upset
coming.
because I saw a lot of people talking about that one, and I missed that because I was on my way to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, Gastelum has been a guy that's he was at the top of the division for a little bit, never was able to get the belt. Now he's back at the bottom of the rankings, but that might have been like the best performance he's ever had. It was beautiful to watch. Rojas, the 18-year-old, he's a kid. He had to get waiver side when he first fought. Like he did what most of the young and up and coming fighters that aren't exactly MMA, they're grapplers really. He just shot a lot. That's all he did. He tried to get that, and it gassed him out, and didn't work out too well for him after that. Kevin Holland had a nice knockout too. What did you think about the stoppage? Ponzinibbio was upset about the stoppage.
I didn't mind it. I mean, see, listen, that's a funny thing, right? Because he kind of claims that it was early or whatever, blah blah blah, and that kind of the possum thing we were talking about is how he that's the danger you also run in playing possum of you can't sit, he first of all his body went limp. Let's be real, he goes limp, hits the ground, and then even if maybe his head smacking the ground and woke him back up. I mean, he hit him with a hammer fist, I believe it was. That's a fine stoppage to me. Saying it's early, I mean, maybe, but I didn't even think he covered up that well anyway. Yeah. So I didn't have a problem with it, but
I didn't think he didn't cover up at all from what I saw. He got hit with that backhand earlier in the fight, and he looked wobbly. And then the next round that happens, and when he hit the ground, he just face planted. He didn't try to stop himself from falling or anything. And then Holland got a punch in. I thought it was a perfect stoppage because Holland would have put him all the way out. It would have only taken 2 or 3 more, and Ponzinibbio wasn't covering. And you see how quickly he gets up and he's angry, but you weren't gonna get up. If the ref didn't stop it, you were not gonna be moving for a couple minutes. So I thought that was a good stoppage. And then Jorge versus Gilbert Burns. That was, I mean, Jorge's a weird fighter. He ever since that Askren knockout, he's been one of the more talked about fighters. He's always a trash talker, so he gets the big name fights. Hasn't done too well since winning that BMF belt. He's taken a couple losses, got knocked out by Usman. Colby just took him to the ground a lot and beat him. And then this Burns fight, I mean, I truly think if Gilbert Burns didn't run into the prime of Usman, he might still be champion right now. If he were to fight Leon Edwards, I might take Gilbert Burns. I think he's that good, especially when it becomes, a striking contest. So you got one of the toughest chins in the division. And in this fight, the stand-up was kind of even. I don't think anyone really had an advantage, but just when Masvidal gets on his back, he just doesn't get up. He can't get up.
No.
He's just kind of done there. And, he had a fun career. It's very fun to watch him fight. Yeah. Always entertaining. Always great promos. So props to him on retirement and all that. Made a lot of money with his mouth. So that's a beautiful thing.
Pause.
Love to see. Okay. God, you already.
I mean, let's just come on.
He did though.
Still. I mean, like he said though, he went from nothing to having millions.
Mm-hmm.
He started literally. I didn't even know until all this stuff because, like I said, I haven't really paid attention, done a deep dive into a lot of these people that he was doing street fights and things like that, and that's
Kimbo Slice.
Kind of how he got noticed and all that. So it's I just can't imagine going from that to to the UFC and making millions of dollars. You're setting your kids up for life, setting them up, their kids up for a little bit, hopefully, and just good for him, man. Like you said, he was always entertaining. That's the one thing you could definitely say about him. He brought entertainment to whatever he was doing. I mean, he still has the promotion now where he's doing the boxing. I know Dana White talked a little bit about it in the press conference after. I actually said that he kind of enjoyed it. He said the production value was pretty good. Said that you realize when production value is actually good when you can get the replay fast. And it's so funny he says that because, like, obviously working behind the scenes with the Renegades and stuff now, like, replay is obviously one of the things that we have to do and trying to get the replay out before the next pitch and everything like that. So I just found that funny because it is true. Like, having somebody good on replay really does make a big difference. You see, that big punch or, excuse me, that, big hit, whatever it is, you like having the replay, in the bottom right corner in the live shot in the top left or whatever it is. So obviously he has that he's going to continue to do. And would you be shocked if he commentated? I feel like maybe not commentated for the UFC, but if the UFC and him came to some type of agreement to do like an alternate, like a Manning cast for the UFC, I would absolutely watch that. I would absolutely watch that.
Yeah, that'd be fire. Yeah, I mean he'd be great at it for sure.
If he started if he does what a lot of these fighters do now with Izzy and Francis and all make a YouTube channel, man.
He does a little bit of YouTube, not as big or as much as a guy like Adesanya, but he does it usually during fight weeks and stuff.
Or even Joe Rogan when he doesn't call cards. Sometimes he does the watch alongs and then he posts it.
Yeah, might as well having a watch along too with all him and these guys. That'd be awesome.
He'd probably be very entertaining. If you just let him be who he is and do whatever. So yeah, like you said, good on him. And then that Rob Font knockout too. Woo.
Oh, that was disgusting.
I mean, God, I just cringe every single time somebody gets hit. I'm like, I would literally explode. I would die.
Yeah, I would not ever get up.
Like I look at some of these punches that they take. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Like,
even some of the ones that like don't even knock them out or knock them down. I'm like, how are you still even?
Oh yeah, moving? No. Like, I mean, even Masvidal, he's getting punched in the face. Oh yeah, come on.
Yeah, I'm like, why?
I would be crying. I would literally be in a fetal position.
I'd be like, stop, okay, stop.
I'd be like, bro, what did I even do to you? Yeah, like, it was all fun and games. We were trying to promo the fight. Like, I didn't mean it.
Right.
I mean, they're just unbelievable. They're unbelievable people. And then obviously we talked about the title fight a little bit, but Izzy is the champion once again.
Pineda trilogy.
I mean, I keep hearing the thing that Pineda is going to move up to 205. But I did see something on Twitter that I really liked, that he moved him up to 205, and then you just give him the title shot right away. And if he wins, then the trilogy would be Izzy moving up to 205 to see if he can be double champ. That would be fire. I would like that.
I want to see. I mean, Jamal Hill's got the title right now. I don't know how close Yuri is to getting back. So maybe Pereira could get, the title fight before Yuri. But I really want to see Pereira this year.
Didn't Yuri have a tweet out or something like that as well to Adesanya saying that he was coming after him?
He can't get down to 180. Like he can't get that.
We keep saying the same thing about Pineda too. He went down. I don't know, bro. He has to walk around at 220.
Yeah, no doubt. He has to.
He is a humongous human being.
Yeah, he's huge.
I don't see how can you get down to 185?
Him and Yuri.
I literally don't understand.
I want to see him and Yuri at 205. That'd be very fun.
I mean, 205. He's got to carry so much more power.
Oh yeah. Yeah, massive.
His chin's probably better.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
got to worry about grappling as much. It's way more stand-up.
Yeah.
He might be able to win. I mean, I think he'd definitely beat Jamal Hill. I'd pick him. I mean, Jamal Hill has been on a nice streak now, but I think I'd probably take Pereira to beat him.
It would be fun. Like I said, I saw that idea on Twitter that if you just give him the title shot, and if he wins, you make the trilogy, Izzy and him for the 205. That would be fun. But I mean, obviously, you would have to find out if Izzy wanted to do that and everything, and I don't imagine why he wouldn't. But
I think Kamzat might be next for Izzy. That might be what's coming up next. But I think Kamzat's moving up.
Is he?
That's what people. That's all the fights that people have been like setting up for him or talking about or rumored about him are all at another weight division went up. So
I mean, hey, I'd like to see that.
yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I don't know how Izzy would fare in that.
I don't know.
Hamzat can wrestle, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what all those Dagestan, whatever. What is he again?
Kamzat?
It's some weird. It's not.
Kazakhstan? Is that right?
I think that's it. That might be right. That might be right. I'm not sure. Whatever. I don't know. But that'd be interesting. Listen, I'd pay to see it. And by pay, I mean go to Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, we'll move on from there. We will go into the NBA because I don't know if they got all excited for the UFC or they started watching boxing too. Like a lot of stuff going on. You got people punching each other. We got people punching walls. I mean, there's a lot going on. A lot going on in the NBA all of a sudden. Because Rudy Gobert decided to punch Kyle Anderson. I believe it was Bones. What is it? Highland?
Yeah, Bones Highland and Mason Plumlee.
And then you had the other Timberwolf. I don't remember who that was.
Jaden McDaniels.
Punching the wall, broke his head. He's out for the playoffs. First of all, let me just start with that. How dumb can you possibly be? Listen, I'll give you a slight hint here. You full force punching a brick wall, 99 out of 100, the brick's going to win. I mean, maybe there's some superhuman strength dude out there. You know, you get the Mountain or, Brian Shaw out here, and they can, maybe punch the wall, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think that you're going to win that fight too many times. You could ask him.
Walls versus humans. Wall's record is pretty
solid.
Yeah, they're one of the best records out there.
I mean, did we learn nothing from Bugs Bunny, where he used to paint the caves and everything, the road and I mean, what are we doing? But what else was I going to say? Oh, I mean, he didn't punch a wall in this case, but did we learn nothing from Amari Stoudemire?
Yeah.
He punched, I believe, a fire extinguisher. That didn't end well for him.
Nope.
Like, why are we punching walls? You couldn't have waited. Like go punch the water cooler.
Yeah, something that can move, that you could move.
Yeah. I mean, even if you wanted to punch a chair, it has some give.
Yeah.
That was just bold. That was a bold one. That not what you want. They're playing the Lakers, I believe, in the play, and that's basically a free win for the Lakers now. Because also now we got to get into the Rudy Gobert thing and Kyle Anderson. Rudy's out because he punched his own teammate right in the chest. They sent him home immediately. Now he's suspended for a playing game. Like what are we doing? What's going on?
I mean, to punch him and then also to run away immediately, like to throw the first punch and then back way up. That's also a bitch move. Rudy is, I mean, him and Donovan Mitchell didn't get along too well in Utah. Minnesota gives up all these assets for him.
Worst trade in the history of sports.
4 firsts. Walker Kessler, who has been amazing this year, probably going to finish 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. And then 5 key rotational guys. For Rudy Gobert, who's supposed to come in and, fortify that defense, and he has not been good. The season has not gone the way they wanted. Granted, when when their starters are healthy, when Cat is healthy, Ant is healthy, and Rudy's healthy, they do play well together. But it hasn't elevated them to what all those assets should have. Kyle Anderson, there was a little leaked video of a soundbite from him in the back too. He was like, y'all got to quit kissing his ass, like telling me I need to play better. Like, sounds like Rudy, he just can't find a way around these places. I don't know if he's got too big of an ego because, 3-time defensive player of the year, max contract.
And then here's my thing though, Josh, too, right? You can't even trade him. Like, there's people talking about, like, should you trade him? Should you do this? You just gave up all of those assets. You literally cannot trade him now because it's already awful. But imagine how awful it's going to be if you got one season out of him.
Yeah.
Listen, I already think it might be the worst trade in the history of sports. Just because, like, you didn't trade that for KD, LeBron, Luka, Jan, Rudy Gobert.
Can't even average 20 a game.
And this also isn't, 1990 where centers mattered that much. Like, yeah, are they still important? Obviously, I mean, listen, the top two people in the MVP voting this year are going to be centers with Jokic and Embiid. But for a center in 2023,
can't score.
Like, I'm just not sure what we're talking about. I don't know what we're doing.
He does still have some value.
The Jazz, that might be the great. Like, I would have hit yes if that was for my best player on the team. But all I had to do was give up Rudy.
He still has a little bit of value, though. The defense is still there. He's not super old. The contract is not good. It's not something you really would enjoy. And it's going to be very tough to find not only contracts that match, but a team that would be willing to take him. I agree. I don't think they can trade him. You can't give up, 4 firsts, a pick swap, all that, and only get one season out of him without, at least giving it a little bit more time. I just feel really bad for Anthony Edwards, man. The guy's too good to be having to go through all this bullshit over in Minnesota. Jaden McDaniels, I mean, that hurts super, because the Rudy Gobert thing, sure, you're probably going to lose to the Lakers, but then you still have a chance to get the 8 seed, because the loser of that game gets to play again for the 8 seed of the winner between OKC and New Orleans. So if they were to win that one, then they could get in at the 8 seed. And, the Nuggets are the 1 seed. They do have Jokic. They have been playing really well, but they're not unbeatable. But without McDaniels, it kind of feels that way because he's, their best, most versatile defender. Obviously Gobert protects the paint, but McDaniels does so much on the defensive end, switching and all that. And he's a great offensive player too. And now you don't get him at all because he punched a wall. I mean, you can't ask for a worse last game of the season that you won. That was a crucial game that your team won to get the seeding to where, it's double elimination for you. And you ended like that. It is just tough.
Like, it's usually bad when after a win, that's not the first topic.
Yeah.
The win is the fourth thing you're talking about. Like, you talk about the punch of the wall. Actually, it's a fifth thing. You talk about the punch of the wall, what you do with Rudy, and then the result of the punch of the wall. So you're not talking about the win until you probably get to about the fifth thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was one of the more important games for them. Very important game for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is. Has there? I'm trying to think. Has there been a worse last game for a team? Because I mean, Carson Wentz didn't get hurt in the last game of the season. Derek Carr didn't get hurt in the last game of the season. Those 2 years that they got hurt when their teams were doing really well. I mean,
I don't think other than maybe losing a game to not make the playoffs, that might be the only situation that could be worse. But to win a game and to be okay with your seeding and it still be a terrible end to the season with an injury, but the injury is not even the worst thing that happened that day.
But you see, here's the thing too, right? I could almost deal with it. It would still be sickening, right? But I could kind of deal with it if he got hurt in game, right? If he jumped up for a block, hurt a hammy, if he rolled an ankle trying to defend somebody, he got hurt punching the wall.
And what was he mad about, too?
I don't know.
It had to have been about Rudy, I guess.
No.
I don't know what else.
I thought that was after.
I don't know.
Did he foul out of the game?
Even then, they won. Like,
I mean, yeah, but I guess foul it out. Like, I guess that's still annoying. Maybe you thought the call was bad.
yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, that's
I mean, like, on a scale of 1 to stupid, like, that's real high up there.
bad. Yeah,
Like we
that's
said, punch a Gatorade bottle.
yeah. Punch the air. The air isn't gonna
I
get
would have
hurt.
rather him punched a teammate.
Go with Kyle. He's already got one.
I mean, listen. At least he would have been able to come back from that a quick 1-game suspension. You lose the game to the Lakers, then you come back and well, okay, she's gonna win and get into the playoffs. We already know that, so they wouldn't have beaten anybody anyway. But at least you're back now. Even if you do move on, you're not doing anything. You're street clothes.
Mm-hmm. Tough.
It's unbelievable. It is. Well, I don't know when. See, that's why. It's honestly why baseball players have it down. That have it down pat. You want to know why? Because when they get mad, they usually, especially a hitter, they just take the bat right to the Gatorade cooler.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you remember the David Ortiz when he got mad, just destroyed the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball players, they got it. Everybody else it's tough life out here for them.
I mean, other sports in general, you can
Football
just take
players, you're punching helmets.
Yeah, baseball players, you could take off the helmet, and after at bat, you're upset because it was a bad call. NFL players, you could take it off. NBA players, you could do the Steph Curry, throw your mouthpiece, but you can't take something. You could rip your jersey. I mean, that's about it. But we've seen a few NBA players break their hands from. Ennis Cantor did it. He got mad, punched the chair on the sideline, fractured his forearm. Yeah, I think he was with Boston at the time. Maybe, yeah. I mean, a lot of punching and stuff in the NBA. Never works out well for anybody in the NBA.
No, inanimate objects are usually undefeated.
Yeah. They know how to stay strong. They're sturdy.
Because, listen, Einstein. No, not Einstein. Newton.
Mm.
Each reaction has an opposite and equal reaction.
That's true.
And that reaction was a broken hand. Tough life. Tough life out here. The play-in, though, listen, we've kind of broken down some of the stories going into it, but who do you think is actually going to win these play-ins? Let me see if I can try and pull it up to see.
Well, I know
actually,
the first
also
game.
too, Josh, I don't think we've talked since it happened. Because I think it's the dumbest thing ever that we're having a in-season tournament in the NBA now with this new CBA.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about all.
I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I guess it's a way to get teams to maybe want to, not sit guys so much, take more, importance to early regular season games. I think maybe if it was the bench guys that were only playing, the $500K incentive would mean something. But James Harden isn't getting up for $500K. Like he's not getting
He probably made that from a commercial 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, he spends that on a Tuesday night and Houston
at the strip clubs.
Yeah, that's not too much for those top guys. But maybe they want to win that for their teammates. It is also makes it 83 games for whoever wins it. So that's just an extra regular season game, which isn't great. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
All right. Well, here is the play-in tournament. I guess we'll start on the west side. 7 and 8. Listen, with everything that happened to the Timberwolves, I probably would have picked the Lakers anyway. They've been playing pretty well, but obviously got to go with the Lakers now. They'll end up being the 7th seed.
Yeah, I agree. I think they kind of wanted to do this. I think they probably feel better about honestly playing the Grizzlies rather than the Kings. I think the Kings are, one of the better teams in the league this year. They're just so efficient in the fourth quarter. So for the Lakers, the Timberwolves are screwed. That's just the way it is. Lakers are fully healthy. The Timberwolves are the opposite. So yeah, I think they'll get the win pretty easily.
Our boys are going up against the Pelicans. Zion's been ruled out. Come on. Thunder up, baby. Thundering Herd.
I've watched so much Thunder basketball since the All-Star break, almost every game. And I do love our team. I'm very proud of us getting here. But there's a couple glaring problems we have. Shea gets in foul trouble pretty early lately, which is not good. He's a great defender, but he does these little stupid ticky-tack fouls. He also doesn't get the whistle enough. And we're just so small. We're so small. Our center, Jay Will, is 6'9". Jonas Valanciunas averages like 13 rebounds a game. He's a 7-footer. Size is going to hurt us right here, but I think we're going to get the win here. I do think so. I think our team is, very excited to be there. I've been seeing, I'm not. Chet posted on Instagram. He said free 7. He said he wants to be out there. I'm just saying.
Nice time for a little debut. That's all I'm saying.
He ain't got to play a full, 38 minutes. Let's give him 20 minutes out there. We need some size. Hey. We just need a little bit of size. 20 minutes.
We got to run up and down the court. Just let him, stand on the basket.
Right. Yeah. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. But I do think the Thunder will win.
Then we would have the Timberwolves and our Thunder. And hey, all the turmoil going on right now, we gotta get the W. The Thunder make the playoffs, baby. We're the 8th seed.
I think we do. I really think we're going to be a playoff team. Shea is the best outside of the Lakers. Shea's the best player out of those 3 teams. He's the best player on the court. We got the best perimeter defender in Lou Dort. If Lou is hitting shots, which he hasn't been lately, if he's hitting shots, it's over. Like, it's wraps. If Josh Giddey makes wide open layups like he should, instead of making all the difficult ones only, it's wraps. Like, that's all it is.
We go over to the East. We got the 7th seeded, technically, I guess. Heat playing the Hawks over there. Honestly, I thought the Heat were supposed to be good this year. What happened, Josh?
Yeah, I don't know. They've kind of coasted. Kyle Lowry hasn't been the best for them. It's been a weird season.
I'll go with the Heat though. They've been there.
Playoff Jimmy's a different animal. When the games matter, when the season's on the line every night, Jimmy shows up. Atlanta has had a very disappointing season. They go out and they get DeJounte Murray. Yeah, that was supposed to be, that backcourt mate that makes Trey's life easier. Instead, all season, all the talks are that Trey is impossible to coach, impossible to get along with. Nate McMillan gets fired a couple months ago. Quinn Snyder comes in, and they thought his experience with players like Trae Young, having coached Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert would help. Hasn't really. They stayed in, but I just don't think they have enough to get past Miami.
Okay, then we would go to the Bulls and the Raptors. This one I don't know.
One. Yeah, weird one here. The Bulls, I think if Lonzo is healthy, I think they're probably like a 6 seed. I think they're just in the playoffs. But they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. They're kind of healthy now. Toronto is healthy now, too. This game's kind of a toss-up. I think I'm going to go with Chicago. DeMar gets it done in these big games, too. I don't think Toronto has enough, consistent scoring to beat the team like the Bulls, who has 2 guys that, can put up 20 every night. Patrick Beverly, too. Pat Bev in a play-in game.
Oh.
Come on. It's
Wait, Pat Bev's on who? The Bulls?
Chicago. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was going to go with the Raptors, but now I got to go with the Bulls.
Play-in Bev? Come on now.
I don't have a choice now. Did you see the way the man celebrated last year?
Yeah, he wants to do it all over again. And this time he's from Chicago, too. He's doing it for the hometown.
Now I'm going, listen, that's just changed my mind completely. I'm going with the Bulls now, which means we would have the Hawks and the Bulls.
Who gets a chance to get swept by the Bucks? That is all this is for.
Literally.
I
think the Hawks get swept by the Bucks.
I'll go with the Bulls. I think the Bulls make it and then they're like, hey, if we can, beat the Bucks, we won't blow it up. But then they're going to get swept embarrassingly, and the roster gets blown up.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. We move on from the NBA and we go into everybody's favorite, the NFL. We got some news over there. Odell Beckham Jr., one of the hotter free agents there on the market. Obviously didn't sign last year. We thought, a team was going to reach out to him eventually. It looked like he was going to go to the Cowboys. People thought about the Rams. Then all of a sudden it came out that he wanted to play with Aaron Rodgers and go to the Jets. The Rodgers still isn't the Jet yet. Well, it's been determined, and Odell has signed with the Ravens. Another thing came out today that he signed there, with like a 100% guarantee, basically, that Lamar was going to be his quarterback. Lamar posted, a picture of them together on FaceTime when he did sign. So I didn't think it was going to happen. I really didn't. I thought that Lamar was gone, and it's still possible. But I think with all of this happening now, I think he's going to come back. I think this was kind of their way of being like, hey, guys, look, see what we're doing. You know what this kind of is to me, though? A PR stunt a little bit. I think it's kind of like, see, guys, now if Lamar leaves, we tried to give him a weapon, and when we did, he left us anyway. It was never
weapons. They talked to Odell if Lamar already signed this contract. They're 18 mil? Yeah, go away. Like, they were not signing Odell if Lamar already signed. This wasn't.
I really think it was the whole, see, look, we tried to give him a weapon, and we finally did, and he left us anyway, guys. It was never about that. It was the money. So I think it's a bunch of nothing, but I do think Lamar is going to come back. I think I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens because I don't think Odell is the same player, obviously, he was all those years ago. I do still think he has some left in the tank. And I'll be interested to see what, him and Lamar can do. Obviously, Bateman will be back this year, returning from the injury. Still got Mark Andrews. We know the running game is usually always good. The defense is usually pretty good. So with all of that, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it 100% means he's back. I think there's still a lot of work to be done. The contract is still very far off. Haven't heard anything that has changed since the last time we heard about Lamar's contract. It's still just, I want out because you're not going to pay me.
Yep, basically.
Yeah, so and I think, that's probably why a lot of other teams aren't calling either, because they're worried about a fully guaranteed contract too. Like, they were probably not too.
See, that's such the weird thing too, because you listen to all the reporters and everything. Like, everybody always says Garrett fully guaranteed contract. Then you listen to somebody like Ian Rappaport, and it's like, that's never been a thing. Like, he never said he wanted all of his money guaranteed. Yeah. So, like, it's weird. Like, I don't know which, like, obviously one side, and I don't know, maybe it's just like the anti-Lamar people are like, see, he wants fully guaranteed contract. That's why, nobody will get him. And then it's like, but he actually doesn't. So I don't know. Obviously, we won't know which one's true until he finally does get a contract. And then even maybe when he does, will it be that he settled for it, or will it be that's what I wanted the whole time and it was just taking forever? But it's weird. It's intriguing.
Yeah, I think, I agree, though, that this is kind of a little bit of a PR stunt. It shouldn't take Lamar threatening to leave for them to go out and help him. It really shouldn't. You should want to do that for the face of your franchise. But it's a good signing, I think. Odell, literally the same day of the injury was having on his way to probably winning Super Bowl MVP the way he was playing in that game. Unfortunate injury. I think he's still got a lot to give, a lot of game to play. I really wanted him to go to New York. I mean, if the Jets are going to be good, I wanted them to be all the way good. It'd be very fun to see him play with Aaron Rodgers in the net system. But it'll be cool to see what he can do with Lamar, especially because he would be the clear-cut number one there, which they've been missing ever since Lamar's taken over. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want Lamar gone, though. They just haven't taken care of him.
Too.
Yeah, I want to see him somewhere else where, maybe there's an actually good offensive coordinator who won't just, try to kill Lamar if we play.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm surprised that there hasn't been any new like breaks in the story. I guess whether it be a team coming out of nowhere by now, or progress talks with the contract. I just feel like there hasn't been any type of update, and I find it so weird. Like on either side
I
of
feel like
him
we're in that
playing,
dead
of him
period.
leaving.
We're like in that dead period where like free agency's over. We're waiting for the draft, and then the draft just pops off. Like these next 10, 15 days are just dead.
Yeah, the draft is close. When's the first day of the draft? 27th.
Yep, yep. I'm so tired of Panthers Twitter, bro. So tired of it. Like, just I want CJ, I want Bryce Young. Like,
Who do you
dude,
want, Josh?
I don't know. I don't know because I
I
don't
think
want to
I
like.
want CJ.
I think I don't know. Both
I think I
guys.
want CJ strict, and I know you shouldn't. This is why I'm not a scout. That you shouldn't base everything off of one game. But the fact that he sliced and diced that Georgia defense, who's going to have like 85 NFL players on it because the first, second, and third team are all NFL players. We just don't know their names yet. Um, the fact that you sliced and diced them, and then you saw them up against TCU and they literally couldn't move the ball half an inch. Impressive. Very impressive.
Bryce Young did the same thing the year before in the SEC championship game when they had Kobe Dean. Jordan Davis was on there.
This is
Like
true.
I mean, both guys like are so similar in what they accomplished. And then the only downside of Bryce Young is people just bring up the size. That's just the biggest thing with him. I don't think that's really an issue for me. I don't think that's something I'd worry about too much. If the Duke can ball, the Duke can ball. It's not like he's going from being 6'3" in college to now he's going to be 5'11". No, he's been playing like this.
This is a good point. He did not
So
shrink overnight. Good to know.
no, he is used to playing like this and has won a Heisman and a national championship playing like this. So uh, I don't know who I want. I don't even care anymore because there's no point in stressing or having a favorite, and then draft night comes around and Will Levis gets announced number one. Like, there's just so many possibilities that I'm just trying to not stress over because we're still 17 days away. Who cares? Nobody's gonna know until Roger Goodell walks on the stage. Nobody's gonna know.
This
So
is true.
just waiting for it. Just waiting to hear it, and then we can let it be. I just hope it's one of those two. Bryce Young, DJ Stroud. I'm happy.
There's been a lot of talk about my quarterback too. Patriots not,
Yes,
sold on Mac Jones and shopping him around and things of that nature. I'm a little intrigued.
yeah. I mean, hey,
Or the locker room split over him and Bailey Zappi. Backup quarterback, man, it really is the best job in the world. If the quarterback ahead of you just doesn't ever get hurt and is even decent, doesn't even have to be great. You never play, but you're also the most popular person ever. Because everybody, like I said, everybody loves the backup quarterback. Everybody wants the backup quarterback until it's the backup quarterback.
yeah.
Like, I guarantee you, if Bailey Zappi was a starter and if he had the exact same stat line as Mac Jones, everybody'd be like, "Oh, why is he our starting quarterback?" If the roles were reversed and Bailey Zappi was the starter and Mac Jones was the backup, Mac Jones would be the one that was more popular in New England right now. I guarantee you.
Yep,
It's
that's
it's
just
it's
the way
simply
it
because
goes.
he is the backup quarterback and Mac is, listen, I don't think he's all that. I've said that since day one. I wasn't very happy with the pick. Wanted them to trade up, get Justin Fields, blah, 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 whatever. I never get anything I want when it comes to the Patriots. I mean, I got those Super Bowls, but like in the draft, you know, I'm sure. I think we have, somewhere in the teens this year. I guarantee they'll trade back, take some nobody I've never heard of, like they did last year with Cole Strange, where they didn't even have, footage of him playing football. They had to get it from the Senior Bowl, and it was one play. So, but I guess we're gonna find out. Anyway, speaking of the draft, Josh, I don't know because I don't really know, the receivers and things of that nature. I know Smith or whatever his name is, but everybody else, I don't know his name, but I remember the TCU guy. There was a lot of talk about him. I remember when I was watching that game. But why don't you tell me where you think these top wide receivers are going?
Yeah, this receiver draft class has kind of been up and down all year. The guy you talk about TCU, Quentin Johnston, for very large part of the college football season, he was clear-cut number one. This guy's going to be a top 10 draft pick. He was that good. And then I don't know. Nothing really changed. He didn't perform poorly or anything. It's just people just started realizing that Jackson Smith and Jigba is better. Like that's just what people started realizing. You just look at his numbers and his performances. Granted, C.J. Stroud, Max Duggan, there is a little bit of a difference there in quality of quarterback. Not to say that Max Duggan sucks, but Ohio State's offense and
is Max in this draft?
Yeah, he is. He is supposed to be late round pick. Okay. This quarterback draft class has got some big names in it, especially later in the draft.
I don't know why I thought he went back to TCU.
No, he wouldn't. I mean, they ain't going back to the national championship. He went out, as close to top as a team like TCU.
Get that transfer portal, baby.
Oh, yeah. NIL deals would have been nice, too.
Oh, you'd probably make more on the NIL than a late round NFL
a 6-round contract. That might have been the move. I think the first receiver off the board, I think it's possible, we were just talking about number one overall pick. There's a chance Houston could do their own, miniature version of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase reuniting. Maybe C.J. Stroud falls to 2. I think either way, the 12th pick is going to be Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think Texans really want him. He can do it all. He's not the biggest receiver, but he can get downfield quickly. Got great hands. Very solid route runner.
So I think that he had a meeting with the Falcons as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see Atlanta going receiver. I mean, they went receiver last year, went with Kyle Pitts the year before. I just don't see them really going after another weapon. They could, to set up a nice trio for Desmond Ridder to really see what he can do. But I just don't see that happening. 15, that's where I think the Packers are going to take Quentin Johnston. He does remind me a little bit of a young Devontae Adams with the size and the route running ability. Doesn't have nearly the hands of a Devontae Adams. He's more of a body catcher, which a lot of people don't like in the NFL.
Don't tell CJ that.
Yeah,
CJ will get very upset. CJ hates a body catcher.
Yeah, I mean Quentin Johnston does have nice hands, but on routes, towards the sideline, over the middle, he tends to use his body more. But he is still a very solid pass catcher. Arguably the best receiver in this draft. If you have him over Jackson Smith and Jigba, I wouldn't blame you. But I think the Packers are going to take him. They're going to get weapons now that Rodgers is gone because they kind of have to with a young guy like Jordan Love. But they're going to be very young at receiver because they have not made any moves this offseason. So if they go with Quentin Johnston, it'll be him, Christian Watson, and Romeo Doubs, which is a rookie and 2 second-year guys. So we'll see how that works out. I think the Ravens aren't done adding either. I think they're going to do everything they can to make Lamar happy. And I think they take Jordan Addison at number 22. Jordan Addison was a big name, prior to this last college football year. He was at Pitt. And, when the transfer portal and all the NIL deals happened, sorry, my throat is killing me. He transferred to USC, where, Caleb Williams went to, where Lincoln Riley is now. So it was a big topic there because a lot of people were mad that, this big name school can just take away the, one bright spot at Pitt. So a lot of people were mad about that. I think Jordan Addison is, arguably the best receiver in this draft too. I think these three are kind of interchangeable. Great route runner, great hands on the sideline especially. So I think that's going to be a nice pickup if the Ravens take them. I think the Colts also need to get a receiver. We'll see what they do at 4. I mean, it could be Anthony Richardson there. What do you think? What do you think they do at 4? Do you think they go quarterback?
The Colts, I think they will. Who's their quarterback right now?
Sam Ehlinger. That's the only one on the roster.
I mean, a lot of people. I mean, I've seen people say that Anthony Richardson is the best quarterback in the draft. What happened?
Did they sign Gardner Minshew?
That kind of sounds right. Sort of.
I think they did.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm buying that they're really going to go with, their quarterback that they have now. But And then there's people I've seen that think Richardson is the best quarterback in the draft. He's just obviously more of a project, so it's going to take a little bit of time. I think the Colts are finally done with the Band-Aid, the whole Band-Aid thing. They went from, they had Luck, who they couldn't figure out protection for, and then they went to Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan, and I think it's finally just time to take a deep dive into the rookie quarterback pool and try and figure it out from there. But I would imagine that they go with a quarterback at 4. I mean, and honestly, you could probably get Richardson later in the draft too if you want him. Maybe you trade back with somebody who's looking for a big defensive piece. I mean, I do think this draft is going to end up getting crazy. I mean, I'm hyping it up like that, which probably means it's not going to happen. I'm going to be terribly disappointed, but I think the draft getting a little crazy here.
A lot of people think that Arizona's gonna, someone's gonna move up to 3.
I saw that a lot.
So, I mean, I do think the Colts kind of have to go quarterback.
Yeah.
Whether it's Levis or Anthony Richardson. And then at 35, I think they're going to take a receiver. I think they're going to take Zay Flowers out of Boston College. He's a very speedy, quick receiver. But, normally when those first-round guys are speedy, quick, it's John Ross or Tavon Austin, these, record-breaking speed guys. Zay Flowers is much more of a slot receiver than those guys were. He can do much more than just be a guy deep. He's a good route runner, great at jump balls. I think he'd be a perfect complement next to Michael Pittman, who is, just a big, more, route running, not super fast type of receiver. So that's who I think the Colts will go with. And then the second round, also, I think the Panthers are going to go at receiver again with Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. Hendon Hooker's main target there. He's very fast, very good deep ball guy, great hands. And then I do think your Patriots make a move at receiver too. I think at 46, they take Jesus. They take Josh Downs out of UNC. He might have the best hands in the draft.
I'll take
might be the best catch in traffic guy in the draft. And this could be another version too of, Bailey, let's say Mac Jones is gone and Bailey Zappi starts the whole season. You can draft Drake May in the draft next year. Reunite 2 UNC guys. That's where I think the top receivers are going to go. Lots of talent here. A lot of question marks too, though. No clear-cut number ones. Guys that had very successful college careers, but will they translate? And a lot of receiver needy teams out there that are very good. So we'll see.
We certainly will. And listen, that's all we got for this one. All right, we talked a little bit about everything here. I'm excited for the draft. Obviously, it's always fun, the spectacularness of the draft, especially on night one. And then after that, I still watch, but by the third day in the fourth round, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's taking forever. So excited for that. Obviously, when is the play-in, Josh?
Starts tomorrow night.
Starts tomorrow night. So obviously next week we'll be able to break down the play-in and some of the first round games. I'm sure we'll have some more NFL news, and we'll see what's happening around the other world sports. I think is Max Holloway fight night
this week? Yeah, Allen is this week. I think so. I think it's this week. Okay.
I'm the best boxer.
Mm-hmm.
If I got to see, listen, I love that clip too, but if I got to see it one more time, we get it. I saw the clip 855 times. But listen, as for me, Anthony Conover _ you can see that right there. You can follow me on Twitter. You can find out what I'm doing everywhere. As Josh is dying from Dookie air. But Anthony Conover _ on Twitter. You can find out what I'm doing. Make sure you like and sub to the channel, Generational Sports or Doubted Views. Check out Underdog Fantasy. You can double your first deposit up to $100. Obviously, they have all of the wonderful things in sports: baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever you really want to look at. Do the over-unders, parlay. Send us your picks. We'll tailor, we'll fade them, we'll do whatever you want. But with all that being said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Josh, I give you the floor, and then we'll head out.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Generational Sports. Uh, so you head over to Underdog. Use code Gen Z. Double your first deposit. Make sure you follow them on Twitter also to keep up with all the cool promos they're doing. Also answer some trivias for a chance to win some merch from them as well. And tune in Monday, 7 Eastern.
All righty, everybody. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Until then, you have a good one.